Hi guys, Melissa from Melissa vs. Farmagia here. So as a person who lives with multiple chronic illnesses, despite having a pretty healthy lifestyle, having been very healthy most of my life, still having things to refine and things to do and not being perfect, and obviously no one knows what's the right thing. There's a lot of research going different ways. But I look at the health of the next generation. I'm particularly interested, obviously, in my children's health, and I'm seeing some concerning things. So the first thing is the lack of physical activity and being outside. This is starting super young now. So my son has been doing a speech for school, and it's about the benefits of being outside. And we did some research to see what the stats are looking like, and it's truly scary. Apparently in America, the average time spent outside per day by a kid is 7 or 8 minutes. They do spend about 7 hours a day on a screen instead. So what's going on there? It's looking a little better in Australia, 2 to 3 hours outside a day. Here in New Zealand, I'd say it's similar to Australia, but of course that's a big average. You know, there'll be people who are not outside at all and people who are outside a lot. Our family is outside a lot because I make the intentional decision for us to go outside and be outside, and we utilize our outside space as much as possible. And my kids are in sports. But what I've noticed though is that, like, my kids are in sports, and the things they're getting rewarded with is the second thing that concerns me, and it's junk food, like food masquerading as food. Like, for example, we went to Costco the other day, and there was this giant box of cheese puffs. And I joked, but actually I was kind of serious, because I was like, literally, we're paying for food masquerading as food. Like, there is nothing in that has any nutritional value whatsoever. It didn't even have any wheat or gluten, right? Like, nothing filling at all for you. It's just like powdered rice and crap. But anyway, after the sports, they are given sugary drinks, whether it's a milkshake or juice, and then they're given other junk. The other day they got a full-size donut. I'm like, we're rewarding exercise with junk? What is this? And then when they win player of the day, they get a free small McDonald's meal. And yeah, it's great that McDonald's is sponsoring sports. That's wonderful. And obviously it's a great marketing ploy because you get the whole family and they're spending money. But I don't understand the mentality of rewarding sports with junk. It's incredible. And the problem with the food situation is that whoever you agree with, whatever type of eating plan works for you, the one thing that the majority of people can agree on is that processed food has no place in a healthy diet. There is no single food plan with anybody who says that they are doing better in their health that includes donuts, juice, milkshakes, the sugar kind of milkshakes, and lollipops and any of that crap, right? There's nobody. And so it really worries me, because I fear a generation of kids growing up with metabolic diseases. And what I try to tell my kids and share with my kids, which you have to be gentle on, is that their grandpa has diabetes and he can't eat certain treats and stuff, but it's so much more than that. Diabetes causes so many other issues, and there's so many other conditions and things that come along with diabetes, and it is really quite scary. So as someone, I don't know if I'm more attuned to it because I'm someone with chronic illness, and I've done a lot of research, obviously. I myself prefer a whole foods diet, and I do actually at the moment consume a lot more animal products than I did before, and I feel like anything more natural is better. But I'm sure that most people can agree that the amount of junk we're feeding our kids, and the fact that you can pick up these giant boxes of things that look like food but are not, is not a good thing. And so I am a little bit concerned, because long COVID is going up, chronic illness is going up, metabolic disease is going up, problems with menstruation seems to be going up, everything seems to be trending the wrong way. And so I'm seeing these disconcerting things, and it's one thing to change it in our family and to adapt it in our family, but it's another to kind of get some systemic or community level change, because it's, I could tell my poor children, no, we don't eat that junk. but they'll feel crap at the time, right? Or I could try and say, okay, we'll just take one instead of like all of the things. But at the end of the day, that's really hard for children to manage and police. Like, one hard line we have is no, don't drink the sugar. They can have 1 cup of juice at a party, but I'm not giving them Coke or lemonade or any of that nonsense, and it's a hard no. But it is getting more and more pervasive as they get older. My oldest is now 9.5, and it's really hard to avoid that stuff. Like, he is super interested in it, and there's just no way to explain the dangers of sugar, and they just have it all day every day, and it's just compiles all day. I reckon if I did a sugar detox, that kid would suffer. And the third thing that's worrying me is the pervasiveness of screens. Screens have their place, they absolutely do, but what I'm worried about in particular is the use of screens in the classroom with absolutely no concern for ergonomic setup. So my son is in year 5, so in New Zealand that's the second to last year of primary school. And then they go to either a combined secondary school, or they go to an intermediate, and then onto what we call college. So he's in the last year of the first lot of schooling, and they have to take a device every day, and they sit there at the table with their device. And I asked my son if they'd talk about ergonomics each day, and he said no. I don't know for sure, but I've seen him on that tablet, and I've seen him with his neck right down here like this, and I'm like, no, pick up your head. I'm so concerned about this generation ending up with chronic neck problems, because I've got them, and I'm telling you, you don't want them. And like just the oos, whatever they call oos now, right? Like, I'm really concerned. And if you compound those things together, it's all looking pretty bad. So these are things I'm working on with my kids, but it's kind of concerning. Let me know what you think about it, and if you've got any tips.